Hey guys, welcome to Storytime Numero Dos. It's Elle. If you're at my channel for the first time, thank you. I really appreciate it. If you're here after listening to Storytime 1, thank you. Okay, Storytime 1, I discussed my fallen arch and how I got over that. And this one, I wanted to talk about my torn tendon in my right forearm. Again, I'm Elle. I am prepping for my first ever bikini fitness competition. And I felt like I wanted to do these videos because there were two significant injuries that happened in the beginning of my prep that if I didn't address it, I just felt like I would gloss over them. And they're pretty huge. And I didn't feel like I could they were part of my prep, if that makes sense. So in story time number 1, I talked about my fallen arch in my left foot, and I'll address some stuff like some afterthoughts about that situation at the end of this video. But I wanted to just kind of jump in and talk about my torn tendon. So if you guys have seen my first video where I announced my prep, I believe you'll see my puppy in that video. My beautiful, full of energy, full of life Rottweiler puppy named Luna. And I incurred the torn tendon being her mommy. During a week in February when we were waiting on a collar we had ordered, I walked her with I guess a less secure collar. She's a big dog. She's about between 70 to 80 pounds, and she's about over 2 years old. And I am mommy, so she's very protective. So when I would walk her, she would kind of pull to kind of claim her territory, also protect me, and I would kind of pull her back. Like I said, she's protective. So it was a constant for that week without the best collar for her. It was a week of constant pulling on my end and pulling on her end. Even though she's very well behaved, even though she's not an aggressive, dangerous dog, she's full of life. She's very active. So after that week, kind of felt a lot of pain in my forearm. Wouldn't kind of go away. Kind of thought maybe it was a strain, a pulled muscle, but it really didn't go away for about 4 months. During those 4 months, I had heat therapy, I had pain medication, I had cold therapy, I had it wrapped. I sleep comfortably on my right side. I favor my right side. Not during those 4 months. I had to sleep a lot during my left side. There was a sling. There were things that were involved that kind of kept me out of the gym while I was also suffering through my fallen arch. So cardio, I snuck it in when I could with my foot issue, and then arm day was pretty far and in between. Not consistent at all, because I would try to lift weights, but then I would pay for it the day after, because the forearm's pretty significant. Being at the computer hurt, extending the arm was kind of a thing. Couldn't do so much like around the house, chopping vegetables. Your forearm, I've grown so much more in appreciation of my forearm after having this injury, and I see how important it is, how vital it is. From, you know, everything from, like I said, meal prep to lifting threes, grabbing fives, my grip. I lost a lot. I couldn't even grab the remote control. And I'm right hand dominant. So it took a lot of time and patience and research, and a lot of physical therapy. I had to work with resistance bands, because if you guys know about resistance bands, it's gentler on the joints, gentler on the tendons, than full-fledged dumbbells. So, and especially when there's a tear involved. So I had to kind of learn different resistance moves that kind of calmed the tendon a little bit, kind of soothed it. It wasn't too aggressive. I was able to progress during some resistance training, just to kind of mobilize it, because it wasn't just a tear. It was a tear close to the nerve and close to the joint. So that's why it kind of went into a 4-month healing. Now I'm almost there. Like, I can do arm day, light arm day, but that's fine. You know, I just kind of start, you know, with threes and fives, you know, and it's humbling, but it is what it is. And I know that, you know, my 8s and my 10s and my 12s are going to be there waiting for me. So I think one of the takeaways from both of these injuries happening at the same time, and I want to feel like it's not coincidental, you know, like I had wanted to compete and I had wanted to jump on the stage, because I tend to be a little introverted when it comes to kind of me. I'm extroverted for others and for other outside forces, but when it comes to my own personal, I can be a little introverted. But now I feel like I'm going into prep with so much more of a appreciation for the tendons, for the ligaments, for the fascia, for the musculature of everything, and the awareness of how the body moves, and going into competition prep with like a little bit more, I guess for lack of a better word, care and like awareness. Because like I have to wear special shoes when I do cardio. I have to wear special shoes when I lift. And knowing that for like 4 months, I didn't even like have a great grip. You know, I I had to depend on my left hand for a lot of things. I couldn't even chop vegetables or like cook without later on that night feeling a lot of pain. So yeah, I think that's one of the great things I'm walking away from, is that I have much more awareness, much more appreciation for how my body moves / functions. And oh yeah, sorry. So back to some points from my original video on my feet. I wanted to restate that for in my case, my forearm arches, they're hereditary, but it doesn't have to be hereditary. Some conditions make your arches prone to fail. Sometimes wearing bad footwear can cause arches to collapse. So it's not always genetic. And also, when I got new shoes, I also had to get orthotics. So I had to replace all my shoes, stop walking barefoot, and also get custom orthotics to wear in my new lifting shoes and my new cardio shoes. And I can't, anything athletic, I always have to have a custom orthotic in, because my arch can collapse without warning. And then it'll be another multi-month struggle. So I don't want that. Emotionally, injuries take a toll. They take a big toll on me. So yeah, thank you so much for watching these videos. If you ever have an injury, you know, it's they're part of life, right? And I just wanted to make these videos to show how I kind of recovered, the things I did, what did work, what didn't work. Um, and I want to believe that there's healing in talking. And even like I've healed physically, and I'm healing emotionally from the toll they take. Because being sidelined for like 4 months, right after you've set a goal for yourself, and not feeling like, okay, you know what, forget the goal. That crossed my mind, but I wanted to keep going. So thank you so much for taking time out of your schedules to watch this video. Like, support, subscribe, share. I'm excited to kind of start going back to the gym with um, less pain, more planning, and more execution, because I've been held back for a few months. And I'm really excited about moving closer and closer to this long time goal I've had of competing. So thank you so much again for watching. Have a great day, and see you in the next video. Bye.